The magic of stones is extraordinary. The way they're formed deep in the earth, and then thousands, millions of years later, one discovers the hard, bright, shining diamond. Right from a very early age, I love pretty things and twinkly things, and always played with my mother's jewellery box. I had a great friend at school whose father was in the paste jewellery business, and I'd go round to her house and have tea. And the dining table was always full of what we thought were diamonds, but of course they weren't. But it was make-believe, it was fun, it was magic. Jewellery is an extraordinary vessel, if you like, for people's emotions. It can be an engagement ring, a wedding ring. It could be a tiara that's worn for a special occasion. Even though it's not worn very often, it has loaded meaning. You just have to look at the imperial state crown that the Queen wears. The meaning in such a piece like that is extraordinary because you have the memory of the stones. And just for example, in that piece alone, you've got the Black Prince's ruby, which at one point did belong to the Black Prince. Now we're talking about the 14th century. One of the reasons that people made crowns was to have a stone here was like your third eye. You could see better and much more powerfully than anybody else. A lot of work that comes to me at the moment is something we now call upscaling. And very often people are given an old family piece which they don't like, or it's outdated, they don't want to wear it anymore. But it contains emotion, it contains stones. They may be valuable, they may not be so valuable, but it's the emotion of the past which we can then reconstruct in a modern form for modern wear and modern taste. More than anything, I love people. I love making things for people. I love wowing them with the piece that's finally produced. They have the idea, very often they think they want something. It could be vague, it could be definite. And then that process is extraordinary through my drawing it, finding and sourcing stones, through to the actual 3D realisation of the piece. And every single time it's like winning the lottery for me because they're so excited. One of my favourite pieces at the moment is something called Bubbles. It's also morphed into something called Scheherazade, really taken from 1001 Nights. I'm very interested in Islamic culture and all the very vibrant and exciting colours that they use in their artwork and buildings and fabrics and so on. One of the most important aspects of jewellery, and I've always said this ever since I started making it, I don't care what it's made of as long as it's beautifully made and interesting. What you need to see is a piece that's made with love, integrity and thoughtfulness as regards the materials involved. The texture of these materials is incredibly important. Hammered finish is another great favourite technique of mine, which gives it a slightly more ancient and lived-in look. It's soft, it's beautiful, it glows. One of my favourite natural elements to use is pearls. It's a fabulous texture, lustre and colour to wear next to the skin. And the more you wear your pearls, the more beautiful they become because the oil that's imparted from your skin boosts the lustre in the layers of nacre in the pearl. One of the people who I work for is an antiquities dealer, and I do repairs and things for him on things like Etruscan jewellery, Roman jewellery, Greek jewellery and Egyptian jewellery. And one day he gave me the most beautiful faience necklace. The piece I was working on was 2,000 years older than the story of Christ. And that to me is part of the magic of jewellery. The excitement of making jewellery, or goldsmithing as I like to call it, because it is a very ancient craft. It's making people happy, it's making me happy first and foremost, which in turn makes people happy. And it's this connection with the earth, with the stones, with the metal, and the timelessness of making something really beautiful that can then be passed on from generation to generation.